And hello again, everyone, and welcome back to the conclusion of 1953 KGB Unleashed. Now, if you remember last time, our intrepid hero Nikolyev had just managed to cure himself after being poisoned, and he had gone down to the basement of the bunker and then found the hole dug below the basement, and you know a hole dug below the basement of an underground bunker has to be bad news. But he went down there and couldn't quite find anything, but he got the idea that he needed to investigate some electronic voice phenomena. So he went up to the lab and he set up a white noise generator, and that's where we left off last time. So we're going to pick up from there as we're getting ready to go back downstairs and see if we can record something. And here we are back again. I'm going to need to get my flashlight before I go down there, so I may as well grab that. And we immediately walk into a loading screen. The levels of this game are not that big. I'm not quite sure why they have so many loading screens. Yeah, this is the basement. Remember, that's the door we can't go through because we panic whenever we go down there. Is that a screwdriver on the floor? Okay, can you pick it up? Cans. I wonder if this is a Soviet era fallout shelter or something. It's Vault 13! Now I know what's going on. More tools over here. Computer mouse? I'm wasting time in here. Let's head on down and do our voice recording. Now the door we need to go down is right here, the hatch, but for whatever reason we can't get into it from this angle. We have to go over here and then come back. I don't know why they made it do that way. And that hissing noise you hear? Yeah, that's our white noise generator running upstairs. It's right, there's the speaker it's coming from. So let's set up our tape recorder and see what we can do. Take the tape recorder. We put it on this box. Okay, I got a question. The tape recorder disappeared from my inventory when I put it there. The flashlight is sitting right here. Why is it still in my inventory? Okay, I guess so I won't forget it or something. Let's thread our tape, hook up our microphone, and record something. And it kind of fades out and then fades back in while that's going on. Okay, we're done. See that I've already picked up the tape. Don't have to worry about that. I can't get the microphone again because I'm done with it. So let's go upstairs. Even though there's a tape recorder right there, apparently I have no way of listening to it. So I have to go back up to the lab to get the to play the tape. Labs in here. Like I said, what's with all the loading screens?
Many people want to know the meaning of life. Do you want to know too? It's simple. Living in fear. Fear controls human intentions and actions. Different fears can either push you to a right decision or to a fatal one. Some of them are so minor that a person doesn't notice them, and some of them are so perverted that they seem to be wishes. But there is a single basic fear behind them all, formless, uncontrollable, hiding the unknown.
Yeah, somebody's been reading their H.P. Lovecraft here. Lovecraft wrote a collection of essays on horror known as supernatural horror in literature. And one of the things he said in there is, the oldest emotion of mankind is fear, and the strongest kind of fear is fear of the unknown, which I think is what our narrators, our strange voice just said. And I'll point out that I was able to say all of that while that cutscene continued to run. It's almost like they wanted me to say that. Now, I don't know if they really had read their Lovecraft or not, but apparently they've reached the same conclusion. Okay, there's a tape recorder here, so let's put our tape on it. Let's put our tape on it and hear what it has to say. Oh, there's the hissing. And some kind of voice in Russian, it sounds like. Wonder what he's saying. Must be boring, because apparently he fell asleep. And what happened?
Something happened to me while I was listening to that record. I don't know exactly what it was, and now I got here. What other mysteries could this place be hiding?
Alright, obviously something happened just then while we were listening to that. We either were transported into this room, because this is a room we've not been in before, or we were hypnotized and did sleepwalking down here, or yeah. Something happened here. We can't go too far that way, even though that wall looks crumbly, so let's go back this way and see where this door leads. Okay, apparently I still have my flashlight, even though it's not showing in my inventory. And wait a minute. Is this the door that I couldn't go near before because I got afraid whenever I went to it? Hang on. Yeah, this is the same room. There's the tools, there's the computer mouse on the floor. That's the door that leads to the underground room with the hole that I can't get to anymore. There's that screwdriver was here before, but that blood on the floor is new. And who is this person and what happened to him? He was not there before. And where's the door? The door that led up to the lab used to be right here. See, it's a different color right there. You can see the edge of it, kinda. What's going on here? And that's the pickaxe I had earlier. Did I kill this guy? What's going... Okay, what's going on? Yeah, I'm not in control right now. The game is doing this on its own. Okay, I'm not sure what the game is saying happened. When we listened to the voice recording, we blacked out. Now, maybe we were possessed, maybe we were hypnotized, but somehow we came downstairs, killed that guy apparently, or someone or something killed that guy, bricked up the wall leading up to the lab, because that was very obviously the same room, and the wall is gone. How long were we out? I don't know. And yeah. Okay. Whatever it was, we can't really go back here again. See, it's locked. There's a speaker, but the voice on the other end isn't helping us. Let's see if there's anything in here we can pick up. Okay, we've got a picture, 1917, 1953. And on the back we have YYYY minus XXXX equals AB and this little diagram. Okay. We'll just sort of keep track of that. We'll come over here. There's a gas mask, because those things are always useful. There's some More paperwork over here is just autopsy reports. Bits of paper and a wedding ring discovered in the stomach, okay. Drug test. Maybe we were drugged. Maybe that's what it was. Drug causes auditory hallucinations and sleepiness. Well, you know. That could be us. You know, maybe this is all an effect of the antidote we took? Who knows? Alright. There's a wall here that's kind of broken looking. May as well use our pickaxe and see if we can get through it. I'll take that as a yes.
Faults are real, and you might say material. They don't come from nowhere, and they don't disappear to nowhere. They live in different forms and emanate around us. Some can feel this emanation, while others need special devices for that. It's not enough just to discover a thought. It needs to be understood. These games are dangerous, very dangerous. A thought interpreted incorrectly can end in death.
Hey, I didn't know anything about the guy upstairs. I don't know what happened to him. Once again, we've got a long, drawn-out end of the cutscene here. But, you know, some people need help interpreting thoughts. I guess that could apply to our using the white noise generator and the voice phenomena recording. Who knows at this point. Let's try going this way.
Looks like a mercury spill. It's too dangerous to enter without protection.
Okay, fortunately we have protection in the form of this gas mask. Now what's odd is we can't go in from here. What we actually have to do is back up, then use the gas mask on the door. I'm not sure why it has to be done that way, but that's the way the game wants us to do it. It's a big mercury spill if all that is mercury. Now there's something over here on the wall. You see the A, B, which if you remember, A and B were on the back of that picture, postcard, or whatever that was that we saw. And there was also, if you look here, some valves, and you may see that it's kind of a similar shape to what we saw in that postcard. Now, this is actually one of the most straightforward or most standard adventure gamey puzzles here. We've got two, on the front of this postcard we have two, didn't mean to close it. We have two numbers, 1953 and 1917. 1953 minus 1917 is 36. Now remember there was an A and a B, and we saw earlier that said to turn them. So I have to turn this valve 3 times and this valve 6 times. That's all that's telling us. So 3 and 6. And you notice we all immediately backed out. And down here there's a glass eye lying on the floor. Why we get a glass eye by turning a valve in a shower is anyone's guess. And notice there's a nice tile wall here. I'm just pointing that out. Okay, let's leave. Alright. Go down this hallway a bit. It's a lot darker here. Now there's this door. Notice this door has nothing, no doorknob or anything, but it's a little symbol down here of an eye, right above that notch. So let's pick up the glass eye and put it down here. Okay, this isn't clear what's going on. Remember upstairs we read a book that said things about how your mind was like a radio receiver, and it could pick up transmissions, like what other things we're seeing, and it also talked about telekinesis. Basically, we are seeing through that glass eye right now, and we're seeing the inside of this room. Now, inside the room, the door has a handle on it, and we can open the door, presumably with telekinesis. And now we can come inside. Now, notice this room has all these weird bits of electronics around it and all these things on the wall. Now, when we, another one of the things we read upstairs talked about how there were, was a room they did for testing that had steel plates and lead pyramids and all on the wall. This was to isolate their people during their psychic, their psychic testing. And here's another tape recorder. I wonder if it has something to say.
These games are dangerous. Very dangerous. A thought interpreted incorrectly results in death. I can answer your last question as follows. Yes, you can get used to pain. But can you get used to fear? Unlikely. The power of fear is in that it doesn't exist in reality. In this sense, fear is like God. Neither exists. But it's impossible not to believe in both.
And that's going to keep playing for a while. It's really done with the cutscene. That's the same voice we've been hearing through the PA system. Was that a tape we were hearing all the time, or was that person down here and he just left somehow as we came in? Maybe that's the dead body upstairs, but no, we were hearing talking since then. There's some paperwork here. Now this is about someone named Nikolyev. Now remember, Nikolyev is our name. I don't know if Nikolyev means that they're related or not. I don't know enough about Russian naming. But this talks about somebody else who was executed about a week ago. Which is probably the person we've been talking to. There's also this piece of paper. I have no idea what that means. And there's this coin. It's a subway token. Now remember earlier I mentioned that we kind of heard a subway a couple of times? Oops. We're done. And we're actually kind of done. There's just papers around if you look at any of them. Okay, what do we need to do? Well, what we need to do is go into here again.
I'll be able to get to the surface through the subway tunnel.
Yes, Nikolyev, I'm sure you can, but how did that subway tunnel get there? We walked in, and this subway tunnel suddenly opened up. What's going on here? Oh well, it looks to be... Why does the subway train run right into this bathroom? Oh well, it's a way out. And it's time for the epilogue.
I ran down the subway tunnel until I saw a station. Without attracting anyone's attention, I managed to get out to the surface, where the bright sunlight half blinded me. There was pandemonium in the square, people shouting, cars honking, voices resounding from loudspeakers. Mourning ribbons and portraits of the leader were everywhere. Then I realized Stalin had died. Squeezing my way through the crowd, I barely managed to get home. I came to work the next day. Everything there was just as it was before, and my life gradually returned to the way things were. I worked until I was promoted to chief engineer, and later, in the late 60s, I became the department head. I had a son and a daughter. I lived an interesting and happy life. My children were growing up before my eyes. I saw the first man go to space, and I rejoiced together with all the Soviet people. And in 1986, when Cuba became part of the USSR, my grandson was born, and I became a grandfather. And now I recall the words my grandfather once said to me. Live your life, so that later, people will remember you with a kind word.
Okay, a couple of things about that was, one, what does that have to do with? What did we have? What happened down there? What did we find? Two, I'll point out that apparently this takes place in an alternate universe because Cuba never joined the Soviet Union in 1986. So I'm not quite sure what they're saying went on here. There was nothing to tell us what happened in the game. There was nothing to tell us what really was going on down there. Just what we were kind of able to figure out and piece together, which is basically what you heard me telling you. That's all I can think of that was going on. So, but anyway, that's it. That is Phobos 1953 KGB Unleashed. It's actually a surprisingly good adventure game. It's a little... I kind of wish that there had been a little more explained about what was going on than what we got, but hey, what can I say? And apparently it is based on a short story or a novel or something, so maybe someday I'll track down an English translation of that and see if it makes any more sense after having read it. But anyway, for now, that is it for the game. I am Dennis. I am Tan Stop the Paleogamer, and I will see you next time.